But what I wasn't expecting was for Nikola Jokic to have his greatest season of all time by far, one of the 5 best seasons in league history. So things have changed to me. While I still think the Thunder will easily win the NBA championship this year, while I think that this will still be the beginning of a dynastic grasp on the league by Shea and by the Thunder, there's no doubt that Nikola Jokic is unequivocally the most valuable player in the league. And why do I think that? And we can get into it, and I'll hash it out throughout the conversation. But why? There's 2 ways I think that you can gauge like who you want to give this award to. Who is the MVP? Because a lot of it, we're talking about semantics and defining things and identifying like what certain things mean to us, because there's really no clear-cut definition of MVP or what that means. So to me, you can look at an impact a player has on their team, so the amount of value they deliver their team, or you can just say, who's the best player in the world, right? So those are 2 different things. Like, who is the best player on the planet, in the league, and who delivers the most value to their individual team? Who uplifts their supporting cast more? Like, to me, that's value. But if you also want to say, well, so-and-so's just the best, so he's the best player. So to me, though, Nikola Jokic is both. Nikola Jokic is not only the best player on the planet, he delivers the most value to his team as well. So to me, it's a slam dunk case.
To me, play a role. And it just seems like the MVP award, the criteria has changed year to year. OKC has like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, has like 3 or 4 guys averaging in double figures, while Denver has 5. Joker's next best scorer is 21 points a game. Same for Shea with Dub, 21 points a game. But then you dip down to Michael Porter Jr., who's at 18 points a game. OKC doesn't have that. Not to mention, Chet's missed half the season. J-Dub's missed time. Hornstein's missed time. And so, and listen, I mean, this recent road trip, Scott, if that didn't prove he's MVP on that brutal road trip, Boston, Detroit, you know what I'm saying? He's still dropping 40 balls, right? Making it look easy, still making his guys look better. Oh, and by the way, SGA leads his team in steals. And so he's a two-way player. He's a two-way player. And so, again, I thought value is the definition of MVP is I'm missing my second best player, right? And the train keeps going. The train doesn't go off the tracks. It's funny. When Jamal Murray misses games, he's not there for long stretches, this Denver Nugget team struggles, right? It's not the same offense. It's not the same defense, right? OKC Thunder are having a historic defensive year. Denver's not doing that. I just saw Joker score 56 points and grab you 15 rebounds versus the Wizards back in December. Empty stats. They lose the game. You know what I'm saying? They lose the game. While Shea's on the road versus Boston, giving Jalen and Jason Tatum 40 balls. And they have no answer for him. And so, again, I think Joker is an amazing player, but why do we not value both sides of the court, offense and defense, right? Joker has no rim protection whatsoever. It's an open highway lane to the basket, right? And there's something to be said that SGA is making guys like Hornstein look good because, to me, value is empowering your teammates, making your teammates better, right? He's getting the best out of role players, right? That's an MVP, not just the best player. If it's the best player, then MJ and Kobe should have like 10 apiece, and they don't. And so, in my opinion, Mookie and Skap, we're changing the criteria. We're changing the criteria. And to me, it's not fair.
I agree. I think we are changing the criteria. And this is the thing, too. It's like you Jokic fans can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and say that, the reason that he won the MVP in 2000, I believe, 22, he won his first MVP, 21-22, because he was missing Jamal Murray for majority of the year, right? Or the whole year, right? Michael Porter Jr. was missing for half the year as well, right? He led his team to a 6 seed. Bro, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been missing, you know what I'm saying, his second best player for majority of the season. He only played 20 games, right? Lou Dort has been missing games, right? His secondary creator is still hurt to this day. And yet he leading his team to the number 1 seed, right? He's averaging 34.5 points per game per 75 possessions, with a plus 6.6 relative true shooting percentage. Now, when we looking at SGA and we look at Nikola Jokic, Why do y'all ignore the defensive side of the basketball? Skap,
Right.
you are a Kobe fan.
Facts.
You have to make the argument between Kobe and LeBron because of the defensive side of the ball. Jokic is one of the worst defensive players in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, and the on and off proves it. When Nikola Jokic is on the floor, ladies and gentlemen, right? They are a negative 2.4 defensive unit. That means he lowers the ceiling of his team defensively. They are a worse defensive unit when he's on the court. Meanwhile, when you look at SGA, they're plus 7.6. So when you're looking at a guy this year that has led the NBA win shares per 48, who's led the lead in win shares, who led the lead in defensive win shares, and second in the lead in blocks plus minus, while also shooting 70% at the rim, while also shooting 50% from the mid-range, right? And he is not a liability defensively, and he is ceiling raising the Oklahoma City Thunder offense and defense, right?
Correct.
That is the MVP right there.
Okay. Is it me? Is it my turn? Can I tag back in here? I've heard a lot. I'm ready. I have a lot of information here. First of all, I started my little diatribe before with how much I appreciate Shea and value him. Let me now tell you how much I appreciate defense and two-way players. My top 5 all-time players are Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tim Duncan, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those are my top 5 all time because they constitute to me the best two-way players, elite offensive players, elite defensive players, great winners. So you don't have to explain to me how important the defensive side of the ball is. But you brought up some advanced analytics, and I'm glad you did, Mookie, because I've got a lot of advanced stats here. Nikola Jokic, when you look at defensive box plus minus this year, defensive box plus minus is second in the NBA, above Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. When you look at his defensive win share, Shai is higher. Shai is like third, I believe, but Jokic is 14th in that. So this is out of 430 qualified players. Now sometimes advanced metrics do lie, but the net rating and the per 100 possession ratings do not lie. So defensive net rating, which measures how many points your team allows when you're on the floor per 100 possessions, that really does bear it out. Like, that's not going to tell a fib, if you will. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is third league-wide in that metric. He's the third-rated net defensive player in the league. Number 1 and 2 are Isaiah Hartenstein and Jalen Williams, and another Thunder teammate, I think Wallace, is 4th. So the top 4 net-rated defenders league-wide this year are all on Oklahoma City. Nikola Jokic, while not 3rd or 10th or 14th like he is in those other advanced defensive metrics, is 28th league-wide in defensive net rating. So therefore, when he's on the floor, he is the 28th best player out of like 438 qualified players in points per 100 possessions that his team allows. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Well, his teammates must be making him look good. Look at the next highest player on that metric. Defensive net rating that Nikola Jokic has this year is Russell Westbrook at 91. The next best player is Peyton Watson at 99. And the 4th best rated defender on Nikola Jokic's team is Jamal Murray at 135th, while Nikola Jokic is sitting at 28th. So to say, I'm not even saying he's a great defender, but to say that he is terrible or costing his team on that end is such a lie. It is such a narrative that's totally untrue. And Nikola Jokic is tied with Shai for 4th in steals per game right now. He's tied league-wide 4th in the NBA with Shai. He is leading the league in defensive rebounds, so he is leading the league at that metric and controlling the glass. Now, is he a rim protector in the way that Shai is an elite on-ball defender? Of course not. But Shai's not really called to do that. Last year, in the entire 2023-2024 NBA season, in isolation defense, Lou Dort was the #1 ranked guy in taking the opponent's top ball handler and defending him in ISO. #2 rated last year league-wide was Alex Caruso, who the Thunder got in free agency. The Thunder have an insane amount of elite, high-end defensive players. So before we even get into the value of it all, which I have a hell of a lot to say on that side of it, I just wanted to address the defensive side of it and try to expose some of these just disingenuous narratives that have been percolating around, that Jokic is some kind of putrid defender or a negative defender for his team or costing his team. His team is lousy. You can make a legitimate case. He's the best defender on his team. Whereas Jay has like a series of great defenders on his team. But we don't have to bog down because I do have some things to address from a value standpoint.
All right, let me address this, chat. First of all, this is why we gotta just watch the games with our eyes. We gotta look at the game. We gotta break it down. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get our eyeglasses.
Dive deep in the water.
Well, part of the reason why Kobe is in your top 2 or top 3 is mainly because of the eye test. Because we're looking at from an accolade standpoint. I mean, he kind of don't stack up to the top 3 and top 4 players from just basically from an accolade standpoint. But you bring up the eye test. But let's get back.
Most all NBA defensive first teams for Kobe Bryant. Second most all NBA first teams for Kobe Bryant.
Well, Phil Jackson said he shouldn't win some of them all defensive team selection. But let's get to this, right? Skap, I gotta ask you a question. How is defensive box plus minus calculated?
Oh, but look, I said analytics can lie. From like DPM and defensive win share, fine.
So why are you saying the analytic rating though?
Defensive net rating though does not lie. Defensive net rating is points per 100 possessions that your team allows with you on the floor. He's 28th best league wide.
Skap, you cannot mention a advanced analytic when you don't even know how it's calculated. You don't even know what's the formula go into these advanced analytics.
Box plus minus is a testament of totality of the overall box score and the impact to that on winning games. That's box plus minus.
Okay, but with box plus minus take into account of steals, blocks, and defensive rebounds, right? Raw box sheet doesn't tell you about good positional defense. It doesn't tell you forcing tough shots. It doesn't tell you being an elite level rim protector. It doesn't tell you how you good as a switchable defender, how you good as a drop defender, how you good at rotating weak side, being able to maintain proper position. Because you wouldn't sit there and say that Nikola Jokic is a better defender than Ivica Zubac.
No.
But he has a higher box plus minus. That's when you know the advanced analytics is very, very flawed.
When you're watching, hold on,
advanced analytics, when we look at that, Nikola Jokic's defense, he is a layup line to the basket.
He's not.
We have seen Alex Starr cook him. Alex Starr has been struggling. His rookie year has been overwhelming. He has been terrible this year. Alex Starr came to Nikola Jokic and dropped 34 points on him. What's cooking him? Man, the Lakers without LeBron James and Luka scored damn near 100-something points against him. And Austin Reeves, guys were literally taking him off the dribble. Guys were literally getting to the rim.
Zubac cooked him too.
Zubac was cooking him. I mean, we seeing below average centers give Jokic the business because how bad he is defense. It's no effort. He is a layup.
Don't forget about Rudy Gobert.
Bro, teams shoot above average, way above average, over the league plus 10 when Nikola Jokic is rim protecting. His rim protecting is so bad. Now, you want to bring up the point sitting there saying, well, SGA has better defenders. Well, that's why it's more.
A lot better. Much better.
I'll give you that.
And they were, and these last year, Hartenstein was the 3rd-rated net defender last year without Oklahoma City.
Right.
Alex Caruso was first-team All-NBA 2 years ago. He's second-team All-NBA last. Like Shea isn't. He's not asked to defend the other guys. Elite players.
Hold on, Skap. I'm not denying that. We know that SGA has better defenders. This is what we talk about, the ceiling raising. That means that you can still up the level of the defense, even when you have good talent around you. Nikola Jokic, when he had guys like KCP, Aaron Gordon, what's that guy that went to the Indiana Pacers?
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown, right? He lowered that ceiling of that defense. That means that when he was on the court, they was a worse defensive unit when Nikola Jokic was on the court with those great comparable defenders. SGA is able to raise the ceiling of the defense. That's why when all the players that you have named, they don't have a better on and off defensive rating than when Shai is on the court. Shai on and off is plus 7.6. That means when he's on the court, the defense is better 7.6 out of the times that these other players on the court. That's just individual on and off. So even if Jokic still have those great defenders, he will still lower the ceiling of the defense because he is the weak link that teams attack him in space where they have to come over there, heads to pick and rolls. You got Shai that's getting down the hill. Other guys that are getting down the hill to the paint against Nikola Jokic, right? They're consistently getting action and putting Jokic high up on the pick and rolls on ball screens and getting down the hill, which guys have to come over there and help, which put a team in the rotational issues that they somehow can't fix.
If you give him top 5 net rated defenses, he'd win a championship every single year.
Hey,
if you give him a viable all-star caliber player that's an all-star every year perennially, just one, he would win a championship every year.
Hey,
he has had neither of those things. Therefore, he hasn't won. But guess what, guys? He has won once. He has still won one time despite those things.
With all that being said, I just want to make
Skap, would you hold on, Tony C.
Hold on.
Skap, hold on, Tony C.
Go ahead.
Skap, would you agree that if you give Jokic a top 10 defense, he'll win every year? Would you agree?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, he had a top 10 defense last year. Did he win?
He did not have a top 10 defense last year.
Yes, they did. They in 2023, 2024, they were 8th ranked defensively. So why
it's crazy move? I mean, it's easy. It's come on, man.
And then Skap, you sit there and say that well, Steph Curry is trash defensively. What makes Steph Curry trash defensively? I want you to break it down. What makes Steph trash defensively?
Hang on a second.
And when you done with that, I just got one.
He's verifying that defensive stat.
Yeah, you might have been cooked this stuff.
No, Nuggets were 8th last year.
That's mic drop right there, bro. That's mic drop.
And it's shot Slick Rick.
All right, well, further, hang on. Sorry, I inadvertently came on this year. The Nuggets are the 24th rated defense this year. Okay.
What about last year? What about last year, buddy?
Hang on.
Last year.
What? I'm sorry. What metric are we looking at?
Defensive rating.
The same one you're using this year, man. Come on, Skap.
Now, but can you describe defensive rating for me first?
Can you describe it this year? Come on.
Wait. We were arguing early. Per said we thought we were going under.